The alarm screamed through the corridors of the research vessel Cosmic Dawn as Captain Vex Thornblade gripped his command chair. The peaceful Zephyrian ship had been conducting routine stellar mapping when the pirates struck without warning. 3 massive Scarix warships had emerged from hyperspace like hungry predators, their weapons already charging. "Status report," Thornblade shouted over the chaos as his bridge shook from another devastating hit. His blue-scaled hands trembled slightly, not from fear but from the helpless rage of watching his peaceful crew face certain death. Chief Engineer Nyx Valoris worked frantically at her station, her silver eyes reflecting the emergency lights. "Hull breaches on decks 4 and 7. Life support is failing in the lower sections," she called out, her voice steady despite the dire situation. The Zephyrians were explorers and scientists, not warriors. Their ship carried instruments for discovery, not weapons for war. The communication officer, a young Zephyrian named Quinn, Starweaver, looked up with desperate hope. "Captain, should we attempt to contact the Galactic Council? Maybe they can send help." Thornblade's expression darkened. "The nearest council fleet is 6 days away. We have perhaps 6 hours before they breach our final defenses." The reality was crushing. The Scarix pirates were notorious for their brutality. They would strip the ship of all valuable technology and either enslave or eliminate the crew. Through the viewport, the 3 Scarix vessels moved closer like circling vultures. Their dark hulls were covered in spikes and weapon emplacements, designed to intimidate as much as to destroy. The largest ship began deploying boarding pods, each one carrying enough armed pirates to overwhelm a section of the research vessel. "Engineering to bridge," came an urgent voice. "They're using plasma cutters on the outer hull. We've got maybe 30 minutes before they reach the core sections." Nyx Valoris suddenly straightened at her station. "Captain, I have an idea. Our long-range communication array is still functional. What if we broadcast a general distress signal on all frequencies? Cast the net as wide as possible?" "To who?" Thornblade asked, though he was already nodding. Any chance was better than none. "Anyone who might be listening," Nyx replied, her fingers already dancing across the controls. "Emergency broadcast, all frequencies, maximum power. Maybe someone out there believes in helping the innocent." The captain made his decision. "Do it. Send everything we have about our situation, our coordinates, and what's happening here. Let the universe know that the Scarix pirates are murdering peaceful explorers." As Nyx initiated the broadcast, the entire ship's power grid flickered. She was channeling every available energy source into the communication array, sending their plea for help racing across space at faster-than-light speeds. The message contained not just words, but detailed scans of their attackers, tactical information, and most importantly, the coordinates of their location. Unknown to the desperate Zephyrians, their signal was traveling through a region of space that had recently become the patrol route of a human fleet. The message streaked past several star systems before reaching a cluster of ships that belonged to a species the Zephyrians had never encountered. Aboard the human dreadnought Retribution, Fleet Admiral Kane Victorious was reviewing tactical reports when the distress signal reached them. The communications officer, Lieutenant Hayes, looked up with surprise. "Admiral, we're receiving an emergency broadcast. Unknown origin, but the pattern suggests a species in distress." Admiral Victorious was a veteran of numerous conflicts, a man whose strategic mind had earned him respect throughout the human fleet. His weathered face showed the lines of countless decisions made under pressure. "Unknown species?" he asked, moving to the communication station. "Yes, sir. The language is completely unfamiliar, but the universal distress patterns are clear. Someone's under attack." Hayes played the recording and the bridge fell silent as alien voices filled the air, their desperation transcending language barriers. The Admiral studied the tactical data embedded in the signal. 3 attacking vessels against 1 research ship, pirates against scientists. His jaw tightened with familiar anger. Throughout human history, his species had always despised bullies who preyed on the innocent. "Navigation. Set course for these coordinates. Maximum speed," he ordered, his voice carrying the authority of decades of command. "All ships in the battle group, prepare for immediate deployment. We have first contact protocols to consider. But first, We have lives to save. Captain Zara Ironfist of the heavy cruiser Thunder's Edge received the deployment order with grim satisfaction. Her ship and crew were among humanity's finest, trained for exactly this type of rapid response. All hands to battle stations, she announced over the ship's communication system. We're about to meet new neighbors and they're in trouble. As the human battle group changed course and accelerated toward the unknown coordinates, the cosmic Dawn continued to fight for survival. Captain Thornblade could only hope that someone somewhere had heard their desperate call for help. The human battle group dropped out of hyperspace in perfect formation, their arrival creating ripples of distorted light across the void. Fleet Admiral Kane Victorious stood on the bridge of the Retribution, his experienced eyes immediately taking in the tactical situation displayed on the main screen. 3 hostile vessels surrounding a damaged ship, reported Commander Frost, the tactical officer. The unknown vessel appears to be civilian in nature, minimal weapons, significant hull damage. The attackers are heavily armed military vessels. Admiral Victorious studied the scene with the calculated mind of a seasoned warrior. The attacking ships were unlike anything in human databases, but their aggressive posture and the damage to the smaller vessel told the complete story. Sensors, what are we dealing with? The hostile vessels are approximately 800 meters long each, heavily armed with what appears to be plasma-based weaponry. The damaged ship is smaller, around 400 meters, but the design suggests advanced technology focused on research rather than combat. Captain Zara Ironfist's voice crackled over the communication channel from the Thunder's Edge. Admiral, my tactical analysis shows the attackers have already deployed boarding parties. We're looking at a massacre in progress. The Admiral's expression hardened. Throughout human history, his species had developed a particular hatred for those who preyed upon the defenseless. It was a trait that had served them well in their expansion across the galaxy, earning them respect among peaceful civilizations and fear among predators. All ships battle formation Delta. Rules of engagement are clear. Disable the attacking vessels, protect the victim ship, and minimize casualties where possible. But if they fire on us first, respond with full force. Lieutenant Hayes at Communications looked up urgently. Sir, we're receiving another transmission from the damaged vessel. They're trying to communicate with us directly. Put it through, the Admiral ordered, the bridge speakers filled with alien voices speaking in urgent melodic tones. Though the language was completely foreign, the gratitude and desperation were unmistakable. Universal Translator is working on the language patterns, Hayes reported. Basic communication should be possible within minutes. On the lead Scarix pirate vessel, Captain Grimclaw stared at his tactical display in confusion and growing concern. 3 unknown ships had appeared as if from nowhere, their design unlike anything in his extensive database of galactic civilizations. Who are they? He snarled at his crew, his reptilian features twisted with frustration. The Scarix had been successfully raiding this sector for years, facing minimal resistance from the peaceful species that inhabited these regions. His tactical officer worked frantically at the scanner controls. Unknown configuration, Captain. But sir, their weapon. Signatures. The officer's voice trailed off as the readings became clear. Sir, these ships are military grade. Heavy military grade. I'm reading enough firepower to level a small moon. Grimclaw's confidence began to waver. The Scarix were successful pirates, precisely because they chose their targets carefully, attacking only those weaker than themselves. These new arrivals did not fit that profile. Back on the Cosmic Dawn, Captain Thornblade and his crew watched in amazement as the 3 mysterious vessels positioned themselves between the Zephyrian ship and its attackers. Chief Engineer Nyx Valoris managed to establish basic communication protocols, her excitement barely contained despite their desperate situation. Captain, we have contact. The new ships are responding to our distress call. They're trying to communicate in our language. The Universal Translator finally achieved basic functionality, and Admiral Victorious's voice filled the bridge of the alien research vessel. Unknown vessel, this is Admiral Kane Victorious of the Human Defense Fleet. We have received your distress call and are here to assist. Please maintain your current position while we deal with your attackers. The Zephyrian crew exchanged looks, of wonder and hope. Humans. A species they had never encountered, yet one that had traveled across space to answer their desperate plea for help. "Admiral," Captain Thornblade responded, his voice filled with gratitude. "We are Captain Vex Thornblade of the Zephyrian research vessel Cosmic Dawn. We are peaceful explorers under attack by Scarix pirates. We have wounded crew members and failing life support systems." "Understood, Captain. Medical assistance is being prepared. First, we need to remove the immediate threat." Admiral Victorious turned to his tactical officer. "Send a warning to the attacking vessels. Standard first contact protocols, but make it clear that continued aggression will be met with overwhelming force." The warning was broadcast on all frequencies, in multiple languages, its meaning unmistakable. The Scarix had 30 seconds to withdraw their boarding parties and retreat, or face the consequences of challenging humanity's first act as galactic protectors. The 30-second countdown reached 0, and Captain Grimclaw made the worst decision of his pirate career. "These unknowns are bluffing," he growled to his crew aboard the lead Scarix vessel. "No one protects the weak in this galaxy. Open fire on the center ship. Show them what happens when they interfere with the Scarix." Admiral Victorious watched calmly as energy readings spiked across his tactical display. The lead pirate vessel was charging weapons, its intention clear. "All ships, the hostiles have made their choice. Execute Battle Plan Alpha. Precision strikes only. Disable, don't destroy. We want prisoners for questioning." What happened next would become legendary among both human and alien military historians. The human battle group moved with a coordination that seemed almost supernatural. Captain Zara Ironfist's Thunder's Edge rolled gracefully to starboard, its heavy plasma cannons tracking the lead Scarix ship with mechanical precision. The Retribution launched a spread of kinetic penetrators that struck the pirate vessels' weapon systems with surgical accuracy. Each projectile had been calculated to disable specific systems without causing catastrophic damage to the ship's hull. The Scarix vessel shuddered under the impacts, its main guns going offline one by one. "Impossible!" Grimclaw roared as his bridge shook violently. "How did they target our weapons so precisely? Our shields should have deflected those impacts." His tactical officer stared at the readings in disbelief. "Captain, their targeting systems are beyond anything we've ever encountered. They're not just hitting us. They're dissecting our ship system by system." The two flanking Scarix vessels attempted to maneuver for attack positions, but they found themselves outmatched by opponents who seemed to anticipate their every move. The human frigate Swift Justice danced between them like a predator toying with prey, its point defense systems creating an impenetrable barrier of defensive fire, while its main guns methodically disabled their propulsion systems. Aboard the Cosmic Dawn, Captain Thornblade and his crew watched in absolute awe as the three human vessels dismantled their attackers with clinical efficiency. Chief Engineer Nyx Valoris monitored the battle through their damaged sensors, her scientific mind struggling to comprehend what she was witnessing. "Captain, the humans are using some form of predictive targeting system," she reported, her voice filled with wonder. "They're calculating the Scarix movement patterns in real time and placing their shots exactly where the enemy ships will be, not where they are. And look at their coordination," added Communications Officer Quinn Starweaver. "They're fighting as if they share a single mind. Each ship knows exactly what the others will do before they do it." The battle, if it could even be called that, lasted exactly 4 minutes and 37 seconds. When the human weapons fell silent, the three Scarix vessels drifted helplessly in space, their weapons destroyed, engines offline, and life support systems barely functional. Not a single human ship showed even minor damage. Admiral Victorious opened a channel to the disabled pirate vessels. "Scarix ships, this is Admiral Victorious. Your vessels have been disabled and your boarding parties are being recalled immediately. You will remain in position while we render aid to your victims. Any attempt to restart your engines or charge weapons will result in the complete destruction of your ships." Captain Grimclaw stared at his communication panel, his reptilian features twisted with rage and disbelief. In less than 5 minutes, his supposedly invincible raiding fleet had been reduced to floating scrap metal by 3 ships of unknown origin. Who are these humans, he whispered, the word foreign on his tongue. Back on the human flagship, Commander Frost approached Admiral Victorious with a tactical report. All hostile vessels neutralized, sir. No casualties on our side. Minimal. Damage to the enemy ships. Their life support systems are stable. Excellent work. Now comes the challenging part, the Admiral replied. Open a channel to the Zephyrian vessel. Time for proper first contact. The main screen shifted to show the bridge of the cosmic dawn. For the first time in galactic history, humans and Zephyrians looked upon each other. The Zephyrians were tall and elegant, with blue-scaled skin and large, intelligent silver eyes that reflected deep wisdom and natural curiosity. The humans appeared smaller, but carried themselves with an unmistakable air of controlled power and confidence. Captain Thornblade, Admiral Victorious began, his voice carrying both authority and warmth. I am Fleet Admiral Kane Victorious of the Human Defense Fleet. This is our first encounter with your species, and I regret that it had to occur under such circumstances. Captain Thornblade stood straighter, his diplomatic training taking over despite the extraordinary situation. Admiral Victorious, on behalf of the Zephyrian Council and my crew, I express our deepest gratitude. You have saved our lives and prevented what would have been a tragic loss of scientific knowledge and peaceful exploration. Your distress call reached us while we were on routine patrol. We couldn't ignore the plea of peaceful beings under attack by pirates. It appears we have much to discuss about our respective civilizations and the threats we both face in this galaxy. Nyx Valoris stepped forward, her engineer's curiosity overcoming protocol. Admiral, if I may ask, your tactical capabilities are extraordinary. Your species clearly possesses military technology far beyond what we've encountered in this sector. Admiral Victorious smiled grimly. Humans have learned through hard experience that peace can only be maintained through strength. We've found that bullies and predators only understand one language: overwhelming force applied with precision and purpose. The implications of this first contact were beginning to dawn on both species. The Zephyrians realized they had encountered a civilization that combined advanced technology with an unwavering commitment to protecting the innocent. The humans had discovered that the galaxy contained peaceful species worthy of protection and aggressive ones that needed to be stopped. Within minutes of the battle's end, the human fleet transformed from a force of war into an instrument of mercy. Admiral Victorious coordinated the rescue operation with the same precision he had used to defeat the pirates. Colonel Rex Stormwind, prepare your Marine boarding teams. Dr. Luna Brightwell, ready your medical staff for alien physiology. We're going in to help. Colonel Stormwind stood in the shuttle bay of the Retribution addressing his elite Marine unit. Each soldier wore advanced powered armor that enhanced their strength and speed while providing comprehensive life support. Listen up, Marines. This is first contact with a friendly alien species. They're wounded, scared, and have never seen humans before. We represent all of humanity today. The colonel was a veteran of countless operations, his weathered face bearing the scars of battles fought to protect human colonies from various threats. But this mission was different. Today they weren't just protecting humans. They were extending that protection to an entirely new species. Sergeant Blake, your squad takes point. Corporal Martinez, secure the docking area. Remember, these Zephyrians are peaceful scientists, not soldiers. They may be frightened by our appearance and equipment. Dr. Luna Brightwell checked her medical equipment one final time. As the fleet's chief medical officer, she had prepared for every conceivable injury. But treating an alien species would require all her skills and adaptability. Her medical team carried universal bioscanners and adaptive healing devices designed to work with different physiological systems. The shuttle Guardian Angel launched from the Retribution and approached the damaged cosmic dawn. Through the viewport, the Marines could see the extensive damage caused by the Scarix attack. Hull breaches were sealed with emergency patches, and several sections showed signs of plasma burns. Docking with the alien vessel now, reported the pilot. Their docking bay appears compatible with our systems, though the atmosphere is thinner than Earth normal. Aboard the Cosmic Dawn, Captain Thornblade gathered his senior staff to meet their rescuers. Chief Engineer Nyx Valoris had managed to restore partial power to the docking bay, while Communications Officer Quinn Starweaver prepared translation protocols to ensure smooth communication. "I must admit, I'm both excited and nervous," Thornblade confided to his crew. "We're about to meet the species that just demonstrated the most advanced military capabilities we've ever witnessed." The docking clamps engaged with a solid thud, and the airlock began its cycling sequence. On both sides of the barrier, two species prepared for a historic moment. The humans checked their equipment and weapons, ready to help but prepared for any threat. The Zephyrians gathered their wounded and prepared to meet their unexpected saviors. The airlock opened, and Colonel Stormwind stepped through first, his powered armor making him appear like a metallic giant. Despite his imposing appearance, he moved slowly and kept his weapons lowered, showing peaceful intent. Behind him came Dr. Brightwell and her medical team, their equipment cases clearly marked with universal medical symbols. "Captain Thornblade," the colonel said, his voice transmitted through the universal translator. "I am Colonel Rex Stormwind of the Human Marine Corps. We're here to provide assistance and medical aid to your crew." The Zephyrian captain stepped forward, his natural dignity overcoming any fear he might have felt. "Colonel Stormwind, welcome aboard the Cosmic Dawn. We have 14 injured crew members and significant damage to our life support systems." Dr. Brightwell immediately moved into action, her trained eyes assessing the alien crew members with professional concern. "Colonel, I need to examine the wounded immediately. The bioscans from our ship showed several critical injuries." The first injured Zephyrian was brought forward, a young scientist who had been caught in a plasma explosion when the pirates first attacked. Dr. Brightwell knelt beside him, her medical scanners immediately adapting to analyze his alien physiology. "Fascinating," she murmured as the data appeared on her scanner. "Similar cardiovascular system to humans, but with a dual-chambered heart. Burns are consistent with plasma exposure, but the healing rate appears naturally accelerated." She worked quickly, applying universal healing compounds that adapted to alien tissue structures. Within minutes, the young Zephyrian's burns began to fade, and his breathing became more regular. "How is this possible?" asked Nyx Valoris, watching in amazement as the human doctor's treatments took effect. "Your medical technology works on our physiology as if you've been treating Zephyrians for years." Dr. Brightwell smiled as she moved to the next patient. "Human medical science is built on adaptability. We've learned to create treatments that work across different biological systems. It's part of our philosophy. Life is precious regardless of its form." While the medical team worked, Colonel Stormwind's Marines conducted damage assessments throughout the ship. They moved with careful efficiency, their powered suits allowing them to access damaged areas that would be dangerous for unprotected crew members. "Engineering section secured," reported Sergeant Blake over the communication system. "We've found 3 more survivors trapped in the lower decks. They're alive but need immediate medical attention." The Marines worked alongside Zephyrian engineers to stabilize the ship's failing systems. Despite the language barriers and different technologies, both species found that the principles of engineering and problem-solving transcended cultural differences. "Your people are remarkable," Captain Thornblade told Colonel Stormwind as they watched humans and Zephyrians working together throughout the ship. "You possess incredible military power, yet you use it to protect and heal rather than conquer." The colonel nodded thoughtfully. "That's what makes us human, Captain. We believe that strength without compassion is meaningless, and that those who can protect others have the duty to do so." As the rescue operation continued, both species began to understand that they had encountered something special. The Zephyrians saw humans as powerful protectors who combined advanced technology with genuine care for others. The humans discovered a species of peaceful explorers whose curiosity and scientific knowledge could benefit the entire galaxy. The foundation for a lasting alliance was being built, not through treaties or negotiations, but through acts of courage, compassion, and mutual respect between two very different but equally worthy civilizations. 6 hours after the rescue began, the Cosmic Dawn was once again capable of independent flight. Human engineers had worked alongside their Zephyrian counterparts, sharing technology and knowledge that bridged the gap between two civilizations. Admiral Victorious stood in the restored bridge of the alien vessel, discussing the future with Captain Thornblade. "Your people's scientific achievements are remarkable," the Admiral said, studying the advanced sensor arrays and research equipment that filled the ship. "This level of peaceful exploration represents exactly what the galaxy needs more of." Captain Thornblade nodded gratefully, his silver eyes reflecting both admiration and concern. "And your people's ability to project power for good is equally impressive. But Admiral, what we've witnessed today raises troubling questions about galactic security. If the Scarix can attack peaceful vessels with impunity, how many other species suffer the same fate?" The question hung in the air between them, heavy, with implication. Through the viewport they could see the 3 disabled Scarix vessels under guard by human ships. The pirates had been interrogated and revealed disturbing information about organized piracy throughout this sector of space. Dr. Luna Brightwell approached with her final medical report. "All Zephyrian crew members have been treated and are in stable condition. Their natural healing abilities, combined with our medical technology, produced remarkable results. I've also completed preliminary biological compatibility studies." "And?" Admiral Victorious asked. "Both species can safely coexist in the same environments with minimal life support adjustments. More importantly, our immune systems show no cross-contamination risks. We can work together without biological hazards." Colonel Stormwind joined the group, his powered armor retracted to show his weathered but kind face. "Admiral, the intelligence we've gathered from the Scarix is concerning. They operate as part of a larger network that preys on peaceful civilizations throughout this region. The Zephyrians weren't their first victims, and they won't be their last." Captain Thornblade's expression darkened. "This confirms our worst fears. The Zephyrian Council has received reports of missing exploration vessels, scientific stations going silent, and entire colonies losing contact with the outside galaxy. We assumed it was due to natural hazards or technical failures. It wasn't," Admiral Victorious said grimly. "According to the prisoners, there are at least 12 pirate fleets operating in this sector alone. They target peaceful species specifically because they know no one will come to help." Chief Engineer Nix Valoris, who had been listening quietly, stepped forward. "Admiral, what you've done today changes everything. For the first time, someone has stood up to the predators and won decisively. But this can't be a one-time event." The human admiral studied the assembled group, his tactical mind already formulating plans. "You're absolutely right. What happened here today was just the beginning. The question is, what are we prepared to do about it?" "We?" Captain Thornblade asked, hope rising in his voice. "Humanity has been expanding into this region of space for the past 50 years, Admiral Victorious explained. "We've been searching for intelligent life, hoping to find civilizations that share our values of exploration, scientific advancement, and peaceful coexistence. Today we found exactly that." Communications Officer Quinn Starweaver looked up from his station with excitement. "Captain, I'm receiving transmissions from the Zephyrian Council. Word of our rescue has already reached our home systems. They're requesting immediate communications with the human leadership." Admiral Victorious smiled. "And my superiors are equally eager to establish formal contact. This first meeting has exceeded every protocol we established for alien contact scenarios." Colonel Stormwind crossed his arms thoughtfully. "The strategic implications are significant. If we're going to address the piracy problem in this sector, we'll need intelligence networks, local knowledge, and cooperative relationships with peaceful civilizations. The Zephyrians have extensive scientific databases covering this entire region," Captain Thornblade offered. "Star charts, species profiles, resource locations, and most importantly, records of civilizations that have gone silent in recent years. And humans have the military capability to do something about it," Dr. Brightwell added. "But more than that, we have the will to protect those who cannot protect themselves." Admiral Victorious moved to the main display, which now showed a tactical map of the surrounding star systems. "Gentlemen, lady, what we're discussing is the foundation of something unprecedented in galactic history. An alliance between species based not on mutual benefit or strategic necessity, but on shared values and moral purpose. A partnership between explorers and protectors, Nix Valora said, understanding the implications. Exactly. Zephyrian scientific knowledge combined with human military capability could bring peace and security to this entire region. But it would require trust, cooperation, and commitment from both civilizations. Captain Thornblade stood straighter, his diplomatic training taking over. Captain, I am authorized to speak for the Zephyrian Council in matters of galactic security. Based on what I've witnessed today, I believe our civilizations are natural allies.